Yo, 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 welcome back to Positive Lens, episode 7. I'm sitting here with my good friend, Eduard Jirca. He is, he said nice to meet you. He's a very good friend of mine. I've known him since grade 8, no, grade 7.
Yeah, so we
grade
when
7.
he came to our elementary school.
Yeah,
grade eight,
for a few years, and he works his ass off, and I figured that him and I can have a very good conversation, and Edward has a lot of points that he can share with you guys that will, teach you, the proper way. Well, there's no right and wrong, but the proper way to get in the right industry and get into the right mindset and work ethic and daily routines and such to start hitting some very, very good months.
Yes.
And Edward, tell them a little bit about your background and what you do.
For sure. So I'm nowhere near as talented as Cameron. Cameron is the guy. That's why he's hosting this podcast. 100%, guys. But so I do things a little bit differently. A lot of people out there are used to seeing, that kid who does your, Shopify drop shipping or whatever the case is. But I do things that are completely different. I'm in the service industry. So specifically what I do is exterior cleaning. So I clean the exterior of people's houses. I also own a painting business as well and landscaping as well. All three of them kind of coincide together. They're all under one name. Not too sure if you've seen the name. It's called Hero, Hero Washing, Hero Scaping, and Hero Painting. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Sweet, so I've been doing it now for this is coming up on our 4th season actually doing business. So it's been growing gradually. I love it. I love doing the service industry. Get to talk to a lot of people and build a lot of connections. Yeah. It's just nice.
You're a very smart individual, and you know how to fucking talk to people and sales killer.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to have you on here because we're both young. We're the same age. We're 2003, 2003 baby.
Both 3 babies.
Yeah, I already know.
This year, I know.
But I'm very excited to do this because we got some good topics. And for the people wondering how I kind of build these out is I ask my guest for 3 to 5 ideas on what they would like to cover, and then I add 3 to 5 more, and I build a list out. I send it to him, have him overview it. He liked what he saw, so we're gonna have a really, really nice episode for you guys today. And I'm super excited because
100%.
I've had my brothers on, but that's kind of like a family connection. But I've yet to have someone my age that is out here killing it. So I'm glad, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be guest though, Tommy, right?
Yeah, he's 25.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I
thought he was like 1 year older than us.
No, he's a lot older than us.
Okay.
And let's dive right into this, dude. So since you're the guest, sit back so you can.
For sure. Yeah.
Since you're the guest, I'm gonna have you do most of the talking. I'm gonna have you, kind of tell them what your thoughts on these topics are. So number 1 is the joy of patience.
Okay.
Understanding the value of patience in our fast-paced world. This is a topic that you want to cover. So what I want you to do is kind of tell them and me how this topic kind of hits home for you and how you apply it to your own life.
Okay, so the reason why this one really hit home for me, the reason why this one was such a big one for me is because personally I've struggled with patience. Like I'm a very, since I was born, I was never the guy to be like, oh, when your parents were like, oh, wait till tomorrow. I needed things done right then and there. And that, it's a huge stress thing for me because when I can't fix it or can't finish it right there in the moment, it kind of stresses me out. So it was a practice that I kind of had to exercise and overcome. So patience is a big one for everybody, especially online. A lot of these people, whenever you see it, oh yeah, this young 19-year-old, he made like $1 million in 1 year and it only took like 6 months and stuff. Man, what is that number? Like 1 in 10 million people that's gonna happen to them. It's not possible. It's not possible to the average person. So I need people to stop comparing yourselves to those people and just kind of take your time in it. Focus on one thing, dial in on one specific craft. For example, my example, I've been doing the service industry for 4 years now. I've never done anything else. Sure, I might play around with the stock market a little bit or this and this, but specifically I've dialed into my company Hero Washing and I've been doing it now for 4 years. There was this one quote that I got from one of our super rich clients. So he owns all the McDonald's in all of Guelph. He was our super rich guy. The reason why this quote stuck to me because it was a lot different than most people's advice. I asked him, I'm like, so what's your one piece of advice you would have to a young guy like me who's 19, starting out in the service industry? He was like, there is no such thing as gradual growth. It's just a spike in success. So you know the analogy of the bamboo tree, right? You got to water the seed of the bamboo tree for 5 years straight, and it just spikes overnight. And if you miss a day, you could potentially kill the tree. So business and life and everything works out the same way. You got to keep watering that seed every single day, and then all of a sudden some guy's going to swing by, hey, I want to invest in your company, I'll give you $1 million. oh shit, what the hell now? Now your business just skyrocketed. Now you have an investor willing to put this much money. So that's the spike in success. Yep. So patience is a huge one for me. Everyone needs 100%. To just take their time,
100%. Yeah. I really like that, man. And I would say, I think in a very similar way, I'm very impatient as well, but I started to realize that I've got to like, okay, I just putting in the work. And if I keep putting in the fucking work every day and I trust the process, I'm going to fucking get there. It's going to happen, like regardless. Like, so that's kind of the mindset that everyone needs to have, right? Is just keep watering it, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and just don't give up. Cause like you said, out of nowhere, it's going to skyrocket. So,
and we're both like super extroverted people, like extremely extroverted. We like things done now, but we just need to know that it's just not possible. So like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I've perfected it. Like I'm still struggling to this day, but like, luckily, I have a really good business partner that like, kind of like, he's like the introvert. He's like the more like, gets the answers and gets the things done. So like it kind of coincides perfectly. So just got to let things, kind of smooth itself out. Keep watering that seed day by day,
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy because we have a very similar, like my business partner, he talks to people and he's very, he's extroverted as well, but he's more of the, he hustles the editing and he's like the Nathan.
The back end.
Yeah.
We like to be the face, we like to be the face of the business.
Yeah. And it's cool to see, cause corresponding skill sets work very well in the business. A lot of people say you have to like find someone that is a lot like you. Yes, you have to find someone that's a lot like you, but you have to find someone that, it's almost like, I don't want to say it on here. It's going to be a little bit too much for like.
Say it, beep it out.
No, I don't do that. I don't beep out anything.
Okay.
It's like fitting together like the D and the V, So that's kind of how.
Danny and Vito. It's an Italian term.
Danny and Vito.
PG.
Okay.
Gotta keep it PG, man.
Before this goes too far, because I know Edward and I know myself. So we'll get on to topic 2.
Okay.
So this, you kind of touched on this, but this is something that I struggle with, but I have gotten better with it. And I noticed when you texted me about this, you said it's something that you still struggle with as well. And it's,
in a way.
For sure. Comparing ourselves to others online, and how it steals our joy and it's like vital to our focus.
It does.
So I want you to tell others kind of how it affected you and the ways that you kind of overcame, comparing, because comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
So
there's 2 ways I've compared myself to other people. So one in person, I'm not gonna say his name for privacy reasons, but there was a guy that went to Mary's, drives an R8. I'm sure if he watches this, you know who he is.
Yeah.
So like it's like knowing that you have those kinds of people around you that like became so successful at such a young age. The guy's whipping around an R8 at 18 years old and stuff. But like I said, again, like it's like 1 in 10 million people. That's not going to happen to everybody.
So rare.
Exactly. And I used to do like, drop shipping. I used to do Amazon FBA. My very first business I started was when I was 15. I did as a social media marketing agency.
Yeah.
So when you look online, that's why it's so dangerous to have Instagram and TikTok. That's why I would rather pay somebody to post the videos and stuff for me during peak season, because I don't want to be looking at that stuff. It generally hurts sometimes, right? So you'll see these like young 17, 18-year-olds whipping around Lambos being like, yo, I made 600K this month, this and that. It's like comparing your situation to comparing to them, man, it hurts. And it's something that, of course, that I've definitely worked on quite a lot. That's why me personally, I've deleted the apps. I've like full on like during peak season, I've paid somebody just to deal with my social media accounts.
Yeah.
Because the best way to overcome it is just by cutting it off. Like it's 100%. Not a matter of like, I'll plan on... No, just like delete Instagram, delete TikTok, just get rid of it completely. Or if you don't want to, like set time limits on it. You know what I mean? 10 minutes, do what you need to do. Use it as a business purpose, not a personal one. Because nowadays you're seeing a lot more rich 18-year-olds and stuff. And during your current situation, they might have had a luckier situation. They might have had maybe rich parents that funded them a bunch of money. Maybe you but we don't know this. But everyone's situation is very different. So you just gotta like stop with the comparison and stuff and just do what you know and do what works specifically for you, right?
Yeah, and to add on to that, it's just focus on you and you only.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at other people way too much, and it's like you wake up in the morning, focus on how you can become, like I say, 1% better today.
Yeah, I like that.
Fuck the other people. Yeah. How can you become 1% better? How can you level up your mindset? How can you level up your skill set? How can you level up your body? How can you level up your cardio? All these different things. ask yourself those questions.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are asking, well, not asking, but looking at like you said, looking at the others. I saw a guy like 2 weeks ago online, our age.
Yeah.
He's living in some ridiculous like $20 million house. He's like a Forex trader.
Oh yeah.
And apparently he killed it. He's got a McLaren 765 LT. He's got a Lamborghini Huracan STO. He's got like, he had multiple cars, G-Wagon. Like he had at least 10 cars. I'm like, okay, this dude's our age.
Yeah.
That kind of feels like a stab. But I also, remember, like you said, he could have come from rich parents, or he just got very lucky. But, where he put in the work. For sure. And sometimes, out of nowhere, something good will happen.
Yeah, not gonna shit on
yeah,
say it doesn't work.
And the biggest thing that I had to realize was everyone's path is different. Yeah. Right now, I'm not meant to be, as rich as that young fella there. Yeah. His path called for it.
Yeah.
Or it's fake, like a lot of things online are really fake as well.
Oh man,
I can't. We'll dive into that.
Even my content too. No, who said that?
Yo, what? What? Fuck off my pod,
okay,
dude.
Okay, guys, have a good
one. But it's we'll get into the fraud and stuff like that. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But bullet point number 3 is effective strategies.
Okay.
So I wanted to discuss with you what truly works for you in personal development and what doesn't. Separating myths and separating myths from actionable truths.
Okay. So a very good one to that. I'll just put a title on it. I said this on my previous podcast, routine.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very against routine. Please disagree with me, whatever you want to say. But the thing is that I think routine is a huge myth, man.
Yeah.
The way I like to go about things is a task list. So what I like to do 100%. The night prior is I like to kind of set up my day and
I do that
know exactly what needs to get done, but it can get done at whatever time. Yeah. So those cliche guys online, listen, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I get up, I drink my water, hop in the cold plunge, shower, have my orange juice, this and that, and then I go to the gym. Well, fuck all that. Like I promise to God that's never gonna work. There's been times I swear to God. So we usually go door-to-door sales from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah. There's been times where I've woke up at 9:30 accidentally, got out there, drank a black coffee, like a large coffee, and went out there, killed close to $2,000, $2,500 in deals, right? But routine is just a big one for me. So what I think that actually works for you, and what I recommend a lot of people doing is write stuff down in like bullet points, and just make sure it gets done at some point or another, right?
Yes.
Not a routine work, because if you start like having a routine and you don't get it done by a certain time, then that causes unnecessary stress. Oh fuck, I didn't go to the gym today at 10 a.m. What am I gonna do? But you could always find time to do certain 100%. Things at certain times, right?
100%.
So, yeah.
I agree with that. Routine isn't something that you have to be like so strict on.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm very strict on is when I go to bed and when I wake up.
That's what I can agree with. 100%.
There's in oh my God, what is it? It's something Benjamin Franklin wrote.
Okay.
Why isn't it ringing? He says when you go to bed early and when you wake up early, it makes a man like young, wealthy, and wise, or something like that. Like I forget the exact saying. Like
I don't really
early to bed, early to rise makes a young man young, wealthy, and wise. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Okay.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
But there are going to be some nights where we're busy until midnight, 1 a.m. and we can't necessarily like. I value sleep a lot.
For sure.
In between 6 and 8 hours is for me. Anything less, like I will still be able to kill the day, but like sleep is, I believe it is like the number one killer of a lot of people in this world, and it is a big stress creator. It's why people look like they're fucking 60 when they're 30. So and even Mark Zuckerberg says that, and Jeff Bezos are like, sleep 6 to 8 hours a night, and they've always been doing that. There are nights where you have to sacrifice, but it's not an every night thing. I'm a big I love pushing kind of like this hustle culture thing, but a lot of it is very incorrect. Like a lot of people, they believe like, oh, you got to be fucking no sleep for like 3 weeks, put in that work. Like, dude, you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna die.
I'm saying your health will decline. They're always just trying to sell a course or something.
Health is number one, dude. Health is number one.
Health is wealth, right?
Without health, you got nothing.
No, nothing at all.
There's guys that are worth $300 billion. If they're unhealthy, that money means nothing.
No, they could pay for all the doctors in the world, but that's only going to maybe extend their lifespan by 5 years, I believe most, but then they're just going to end up dying,
Yeah. And
So-
I'll say this before we move on to the next topic. But I met a guy in Miami. His name was Richie Klein. Very wealthy individual. Yeah.
Sibling?
No.
that was
Very, very, very wealthy individual. Sold his company for multiple billions.
Okay.
And
Big numbers.
he told me, like, he came to me and said, he's like, kid, fuck everything, health.
Yeah.
That's all he said. He's just like, health. And I was like, that hit.
Okay.
Because I made mistakes in high school. We all did. We were all really fucking
everybody
stupid
did,
back
man.
then.
Fucking ridiculous.
And I'm glad I changed.
100%, yeah.
But ever since I, started to realize without the health, your mindset's going to be off. Like, there's people that are super overweight and they're wondering why their thoughts are negative. Dude, it's because your body is full of poison.
Yeah, you don't feel confident about yourself.
Yeah. And it's like we could dive into the whole tap water thing and all that, but not going to do it now.
For sure.
Because I could be a podcast in itself.
Yeah. So what's like, so I guess my question to you is your one effective strategy every single day to get stuff done is just making sure your sleep is on top of everything. So how about like during the day though?
That's the sleep. I just make sure I'm like 6-8 hours. Okay. I like to be up at 4:45 in the morning, like every single morning, and I like to be in bed around. I say in between 9 and 10:30 is for me. But I do the same thing as you, where the night before I plan my day out and I call it an intentions list, and I just write down as many things as I can that I want, and I star the most 3 important ones. And I focus on those 3, and then I'll move to the rest. And I'll also bring some things I didn't get done yesterday into today, because we only have 24 hours in a day. We're sleeping 6 to 8 of them. We can't get, we can only get so much done in a 18-hour workday.
Sure.
So throughout my day, I have my non-negotiables. Like I read.
Okay.
I'll hit the gym.
Yeah.
I'll go on my walk.
Yeah.
I'll walk my dog. Like, those are things that I know benefit my mindset, and they're non-negotiable.
So those are like your effective strategies.
Yes. Okay, but then my other effective strategies are income producing activities, like things that are going to generate the business income. And that's like my priority is going into that intentions list and fucking ticking those things off and getting shit done. Like you said, like there doesn't have to be some super strict morning routine, cold plunge this. It's fucking nuts. Like I've tried that. It does not work. By the end of like the 4-hour morning routine, I'm ready to sleep again because it's so much stress on my body. Dude. Like it's ridiculous.
You get everything done, and it's like, okay, now what do I do? And then a lot of people start scrolling on their phone, feeling good about themselves, being like, I took my cold shower. I went to the gym this morning, but then they don't know what to do. They got nothing else to do, right? Another big one for me, so I want to kind of continue on this topic because it's a really big one.
The daily intentions are huge, dude.
For sure, you got to make sure your day by day is really successful in order to make your week successful, your months and everything.
100%.
Another big one for me is reflection. So the thing is, reflecting is a big one to me, especially in the sales. So the thing is, my role in my businesses, I'm specifically the face of the business. I'm the sales guy. You guys probably have seen my content if you follow me on socials. I go door to door and everything. So reflection is a huge thing for me. Where did I go wrong today? Like how can I improve to become better tomorrow? So the one thing that I'm against is planning. How a lot of people online will say, plan your stuff out, plan this, plan that. To me, reflection is a lot more important than planning. The reason being is you could plan all you want, but if you don't just do it, if you don't just take action, you're never actually going to do it. You know what I mean? You're going to be sitting around planning forever.
Well, yeah. And I agree. Action is everything. If you don't put the fucking work in, nothing's gonna happen. You can have a bullet point list of what you're gonna do, but if you don't do it, it's not gonna get done.
Yeah, exactly, right.
So I heavily agree.
Yeah, with that. So like, there's funny enough, there's actually a story. So I remember I ran into a guy on doors from high school. I'm not gonna say his name, of course, but I ran into him. We started catching up a little bit, and then I kind of asked him, I'm like, oh, it's been a couple years since I've seen you since school. So like, what are you up to? Oh man, like I'm a business owner as well. I'm just kind of getting the businesses. I'm like, oh shit, nice. So what do you do? He said he does car detailing. And then I told him, I was like, oh nice, like how many clients you got now and stuff. He's like, oh no, me and my business partner, we've just been planning for the last like 3 months. We're just like putting stuff down. What the fuck? I'm like, yo, you're wasting your time, my guy. Like you're wasting all this precious time. So 3 months you had to plan stuff down. The way I started my business, I was working for another company. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go buy a power wash in Toronto when you had to do curbside pickup. I literally did not care how much was in my bank account. I don't even know if I had enough money. I might have went overdraft. I bought a power washer, started doing jobs, and then the reflection came in. Okay, 100%. So where did I go wrong? Rather just do it and then reflect, rather than planning and not doing.
Yes, and the doing and reflecting, it's better to not. I don't call it a failure. I call it a learning experience. You make the mistake and you fucking learn from it. That's why it's better. And that's why I agree with this so much, is to just do it, make the mistake, reflect, learn, apply, continue it. It's like this never ending cycle. And some of the wealthiest people in the world that have done very, very well for themselves are still making mistakes and learning.
100%.
So what does that tell you? They are constantly, if the wealthiest guy in the world is learning, you bet your ass that you have to fucking put your head down and start learning and start taking, oh my God, this is huge for you. Taking full responsibility of your entire life, of your entire life. And people be like, oh, but I can't control. I don't care. Just take responsibility of what you can control. Okay. You're not making enough money. That's your fucking fault. Put your head down and figure something out, you know? So there's got to be a high level of responsibility, and every single wealthy person that you've met, every single wealthy person that I've met, they take full responsibility for their life.
Always.
If there's a reason why their business isn't doing, you know, the numbers they want, or this person doesn't seem trained enough, that's my fault because it's my business, you know? Exactly. So that's what you got to understand. And for a lot of the people that are listening are going to be people with businesses, or people that want to start a business, or people that are in a self-development journey. Take full fucking responsibility of your life. If you're overweight, that is your fault.
Exactly.
If you feel too skinny and you don't like your body, that's your fault.
Yeah, you got to get these guns, man. Come on. No, those guns. I'm sorry. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it.
But dude, you got to take responsibility. And I would assume you have done that and you agree with that.
I even preach it to, for example, even my girlfriend too. Like, I remember, you know, she said she was having problems with a bunch of her girlfriends when I first met her and stuff. And then, you know, what a lot of people do is they're so quick to blame the person, but it's like, who are you going to blame? Are you going to blame the person for that, but that's the way they are? Or are you going to blame yourself because you're not extracting yourself from that friend group? You know what I mean? So people always need to take the blame. If somebody is bullying you, oh, it's his fault. He's a dickhead. No, it's not, bro. Just walk away. It's your fault. It's your fault that you're allowing him to. Yeah, exactly. You're allowing him to give you the shit. But like, bro, just walk away. Simply, it's always your fault. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the circumstance.
A big thing why I believe people have such a major issue with taking blame for things is like their ego gets in the way, and they like to push everything off of them. And it's like they get to create this bubble of like faith and amazingness around them. But it's like,
arrogant people.
Take a hit, heal the fucking wound, and get back out there on the battlefield. You know, life is literally like, it's like a war. But it's a fun war. It's a war with yourself, but you got to learn to dance with yourself, dance with your mind. I learned that from a guy named Steve Santa Cruz in Miami. Very wise individual. He said that to me. We were talking about, I was like, dude, like, I feel like I'm on a constant battle with my mind and myself. He's like, you are, but learn to dance with it, Cameron. I'm like, that's very true. And it's like you learn to love, you know, your subconscious. And once you start rewiring your brain and stuff like that, you'll learn to dance with it. I assume a lot of people know what I'm talking about. You probably do.
I do.
Your brain used to probably hit you and fuck with you all the time when you were starting up. But once you started to rewire your actions and yourself, like, dude, you just start to dance. Like, hey, I'm
you're a good dancer, man. You move the hips. I like it, man.
That's dude. The ladies love to dance, to say the least. They fucking love it.
Learn to dance. I'm being dead serious, man. If you don't know how to dance, your girl's gonna walk away from you.
It's for real. For real.
100%.
Okay, we spent a lot of time on that topic, and we still got
like we got
seven more
topics.
So number 4, I've touched on this before in other podcasts, so we can make it very brief, but it's something that's very consistent. We gotta be powerful. It is the power of consistency.
We gotta be consistent to talk about the power of consistency. We have to be. No matter how many podcasts.
Very true.
Talk about consistency.
Very true. And I always talk about consistency along with discipline. So I want you to give your thought on this. So the importance of staying consistent, regardless of external circumstances or internal feelings, and tips for maintaining this consistency. So what are your thoughts, and what are things that have helped you to just keep putting in that work every day?
So what's helped with consistency, and like what I've personally felt like has worked the best, is the obsession of
100%.
It. All day long, you're just thinking about your craft. You're a videographer, a phenomenal videographer. Your work's phenomenal, and I'm a sales guy. I'm a door-to-door sales guy. It's the obsession of our craft. I'm obsessed with sales. That's all I can think about.
I love it too.
So that's the power of consistency. It's like every single day I'm always thinking about work, you know, so that'll help you. So no matter, because the thing is that you're not going to be able to get the same amount of work done every single day.
Yeah.
So the one thing I've never really believed in is hard work, because the thing is that, you know, that guy working at a factory or whatever could say he's working hard, but the thing is he's not bringing in that income.
Smart.
So it's being able to just, you know, work on yourself, work on your craft, and being super consistent about it. Because some days you're going to work a lot harder and a lot better. You know, there will be a day where I'll be consistent at closing 2K, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then all of a sudden Thursday, I don't work as hard, but I don't close as many deals. Let's say if I only close 500, that's okay. I'm still consistent with it. That doesn't mean I'm going to give up.
Still got out there.
I still got out there. I still put in the reps. It's all about the repetition. That's the huge thing about doors. The reason why I don't believe in hard work is I can knock on somebody's door and work the hardest on trying to close this one specific person that I'm face to face with right now, spend half an hour trying to close this guy, but I might not even close the
numbers.
It's all about the repetitions, about the numbers. Hi, we're here doing window cleaning. Do you want it? No. Okay. Hi, do you want window cleaning? Do you want it? No. Hi, do you want window cleaning? Yeah, let's do it.
Dude,
Boom. There you go. You got the deal. It took you only maybe 1 minute to get to 3 houses. Finally, somebody said yes.
Yes.
You know, rather than spending 30 minutes at one door working your ass off, but then you don't close the deal.
Yep.
It's all about the obsession and the repetition, you know, just thinking about it all day long. I can't sleep without thinking about the business,
Dude,
man.
it's insane. It's all I think about. But it's like, you know, when there's a NBA player that's obsessed with his craft, it's the same fucking thing. And that is how you're going to get somewhere in life. Like, you have to be obsessive. You have to be. And it's something that comes for sure. Like, it's something that people will have to build up and start. Like, it's once you rewire your brain, because a lot of people's brains are wired in such a shitty way. Like, and that's what society, like, that's what these guys
I know, it's
built the world for.
Yeah.
But obsessiveness is slowly gonna come. Like, I would say for a lot of people start in the gym, be obsessed with, like, okay, I want to get fit. And then once you start getting fit, your mind is going to start to get fit also. And then once your mind starts to get fit, then you can open a business and you can just become obsessive about your entire life. Like, I am obsessed with life, dude. I'm obsessed with progress in all areas.
Yep.
And it's like, it stemmed from being obsessed, you know, on myself. And I'm like, not like that, but being obsessed with myself and my body and becoming better with that. Yeah. And then it stemmed to the business. And then I was like, holy shit, like, I just love life, because everything in it is fucking spectacular.
Yeah.
So I love that you say that, dude. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. What are some of your thoughts? I mean, you kind of already broke it down, right? So,
yeah. I mean, I just believe that obsessiveness and consistency, like, you got to wake up every day and just fucking think about progressing.
Okay.
Like, that is how I think. I wake up, first thought I have is, okay, how the fuck can I either make more money today for the business, become a better human, or be able to give back to my family in the future?
Okay. So we're both on the same idea, obsession.
Yeah, you just fucking wake up and you're constantly thinking about, dude, I like, it's hard. It's the one thing for me, I've said this on other podcasts, is like,
because this is season. I've got to say it again.
I've always no, I just love Pretty Woman. So
you do?
That's
no shot, man. Really?
But that's like something that, like, I'll think about on, like, a fairly consistent basis. But as a man with high testosterone, I think that's normal.
Fist bump to that. Yeah, you have to. That's respect.
That's normal, dude. I think that's normal. I beat myself up for thinking about, like, Pretty Woman, but, like, dude, I think that's normal.
No, it is 100%.
The gorilla in the forest that's like a beast is constantly thinking about spreading his seed. So, okay, topic number 5.
Very honest, man. This is the reason why you listen to this guy and his podcast, Positive Lens. Very honest, man. A lot of people would filter that. Fuck that. No filter.
Oh, I don't, dude. Hey,
no.
I want to say what I want to say. There's freedom of speech, so I'm gonna use it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. I'm excited to hear your take on this. Overcoming excuses. Exploring how making excuses can be self-destructive and why taking action is the ultimate remedy for a troubled mind. Okay, so we went over the action, so you don't really need to touch on that. I want you to touch on why excuses can just fuck someone's life up.
Okay.
This goes back to, like, people blaming everything. It's an excuse as well.
It's the whole ego thing. You know what I mean? Finding an excuse for everything instead of, you know, taking the blame for it.
Yes.
So excuses is a very, very broad term, but I guess if you're talking about, you know, in your craft and everything, you're met with a lot of temporary defeat, and a lot of people always come up with excuses. There's a quote in Think and Go Rich that I love. I think it goes by, when failure when failure is met, it is not the method which is failed, but it's the individual. I'm not too sure exactly how.
I've read that book multiple times. Something along the lines of that.
Yeah. So something along the lines of that. So it's never the method which is failed. It's always you that failed. You know, right? And then you're always gonna come up with excuses and stuff like that. It's kind of hard for me to like, touch really deep into the subject because I've almost exercised myself since I started my very first business to not have excuses. You know, I've kind of let my ego down quite a bit with this. So it's kind of hard for me to dig very deep into it.
Go back before that.
Okay.
Before that, when we were in grade 7 and like, or grade 6, grade 5, like
it's hard to say because I was very egotistical. I really was. Like I was always like you know, I was always class clown. Like I was always the guy that wanted center of attention. So when I would always create excuses for myself, like I would never really overcome it. But when I started the business and stuff, then I kind of dropped my ego a little bit. You know, became almost like a lone wolf for quite some time, especially during COVID. I'm sure a lot of people did. So then I started accepting and kind of put the excuses aside. It was just a matter of, you know, sitting down with yourself, snapping out of it, being like, man, like I got to take the blame for everything. And I preach this to everybody. Like a lot of people that I know, probably have heard me saying it 1,000 times, blame yourself for everything. So I probably sound like a broken record, but it's just a matter of just snapping it, man. And just being like, yo, like, I'm the only one to blame here. Just extract yourself from that current situation, that temporary defeat. Learn on it and then just try something else and try something that might work better, right? So I want to hear what your take is because for me it's almost like, you know, I just kind of have to drop my ego down a little bit, but I want to hear your point of view on this.
So excuses are they sound best to those who make them.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's a good way to put it.
So if you're making excuses, it's gonna sound good to you, but the person who's taking it is gonna be like, this guy's a fucking goof. This guy's an idiot. Or this guy's making shit up.
Yeah.
So I think like back a few years when I was making excuses, like I believe an excuse is anything that starts with but. I talk to a lot of people and I help a lot of people just for free, just to kind of help them get on the way. I've always been like that. I just want to help people, dude. And I'll tell someone advice and then they'll be like, yeah, but, and then they'll go into something. Okay, that's an excuse. Anytime I see but, it's like, okay, that's something you're fucking putting and blocking like your river from flowing. Because you're saying but.
Yes.
So if I'm talking to someone and I'm like, okay, you need to build out a daily executional plan on how this is gonna occur in your life or how you're gonna reach that goal. They'll be like, oh yeah, I know, but I got this but I'm not in the place to do that. Like, it makes no sense. You're saying but, and that is the exact reason why you are not succeeding and why you're not where you want to be and why you will never be where you want to be if you continue to use that word but. Personally,
I like that.
I fucking removed that word from my lingo.
Yeah.
There are times when I'll be like talking to my mom or something like that, and this voice in my head, or it'll almost slip out of a sentence, but I'm like, it's out of my lingo. I don't use that word. You know, when it comes to, like, I use it in a sentence that is not for an excuse.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
But you see what I'm saying? But
there's no better way of putting it, man. Keep going.
So I'll use it, but I'm gonna have too much fun with this.
I know, man. I'm having a good time, man. I'm fucking obsessed with this.
But no, see, it's an excuse. It's like the start of an excuse. So to the excuses, I just believe that if you want to actually reach your goals and dreams, stop making them.
Yeah.
Like, stop telling yourself lies.
Yeah.
You know, the person that is going to lie in your life the most is you. And you're going to lie to yourself so much. Yeah. So once you remove that kind of like, oh, I'm but this, but that, remove it and just be honest with yourself. Stop lying to yourself and let yourself take a hit. Sit down in your room and ask yourself, why am I not succeeding? It's going to be hard to do that. You're going to have to be honest with yourself and take these fucking hits, and it's going to hurt. But you're going to have to be honest with yourself. And it's something that you're going to need to do to move forward. And that's a big thing with the reflection. I reflect, like, I'll sit in my room like every day for like 30 minutes, an hour, put my phone in a different room, and I'll just think to myself, okay, what did I do today that I really liked? Okay, awesome. I'll celebrate it. Little fist bump. Fuck yeah, Cam, I'm proud of you. Yeah. And then I'll ask myself, okay, what did I do today that I don't want to do tomorrow or I don't want to ever do again? Then I'll remove that. If I catch myself doing it again, okay. And it's not like these major bad super things. Like, I'm very strict on myself with like how much time I will spend talking to girls. and it's like we were talking about, like I love talking to pretty women.
Yeah,
and it's not like I'm a man whore or anything. Like I'm just looking for a wifey.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a wifey.
Yeah, but
and it's hard to find in this like in our age group.
I can't lie, I got really, really lucky, man. But you know what's funny? It's gonna come in the most unexpected. Like I met my girl in a Chick-fil-A parking lot.
Yeah.
Like at on Fairway. Like that's where I met her, just randomly through friends. And then I was like, oh shit, she's really good looking.
Dude, she's a fucking very polite girl.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Lightning strike.
Yeah. She asked me.
Kiana's listening, right? She's
gonna listen 100%.
You're a good person, and you got a good man, a very good man. Stop, if you didn't take him, I would have. Jokes. I'm not like that.
Not on that around you guys.
Not on camera, at least. Okay. Number 6, because we went over excuses pretty good.
Yes.
The influence of our circle. Holy, this is fucking huge. Dude.
Yes.
This is huge. So I want your take. I every question or every topic is gonna be like, I want your take on it.
For sure.
So
no, 100%.
We're gonna be exploring how making the significance of surrounding ourselves with ambitious action takers who aspire for greatness, and how this impacts our own path to success. And rather than spending it with people that just have a goal, because a lot of people mess up who they're hanging around, because they'll be like, yeah, my friends are awesome, they have goals. Are they taking action on it though?
Yeah, they'll drag you down, right?
Yeah, so it's action takers. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, so you've heard the saying 1,000 times. You've probably seen it all over social media. When you hang around 5 millionaires, you become the 6th. When you hang around 5 really fit people, you become the 6th fit person. The thing is with the whole thing with surrounding yourself with like-minded people, it's definitely a big one. Like everybody needs to be doing this. For example, like to be honest, I'm a bit of a loser now ever since COVID. So I used to crave attention, especially in high school. Like I'm a huge extrovert, center of attention, love to go to parties, everything. Like I used to text people every single day just to hang out because I craved the attention. So COVID really helped with me kind of being like a single kind of guy, lone wolf, and be able to, well, because I kind of got fucked over by somebody, but we'll put that aside.
Yeah.
But it kind of helped me because basically, like, I realized that a lot of people really don't mean anything. So I used to have, like 100+ friends, had so many people like contacts, but then I got screwed over. And basically, like I say, like 80 to 90% of the people that I used to talk to believed to this person and kind of like, fucked me over, and I lost everybody. It hurt for quite some time because I was a very ego-driven kind of person. It really did hurt. But then eventually, because everybody had to stay at home, I kind of practiced, like I can kind of do things on my own. Like I don't really need people. But then eventually the lone wolf stuff, I don't really agree with, because it will come a point in time where your abilities, like your capability to certain things will hit a limit, because you're probably not, like, for example, if I want to market something, I'm not good with computers. So I'd rather, go business partners with somebody or hire somebody or whatever to take care of certain tasks. Yeah. So of course, then I started surrounding myself. I started being so selective of who I surround myself with. Yeah. That's why I have an amazing business partner and everything, because him and I coincide so perfectly. And to be honest, I only really hang out with him. Majority of the time it's just us two, especially for working 7 days a week. We gotta cooperate with each other, 100%. So keep your inner circle super, super small. Of course, have a balance. Like what I like to do is have a very small inner circle, but then have a couple of fuck off friends, I guess you could call them. I have a couple of fuck off friends where it's like, listen, let's just say I hit my goal on a Sunday by 5 p.m. Okay, because I have goals every single day, but I hit all my goals are finished by 5 o'clock. And then on a Sunday, I want to go hang out with my fuck off friend. I'll just call him up, be like, hey, buddy, let's go grab some drinks, But and I think that's one of the topics we'll get more into.
There's no problem with that.
Yeah, so like that's the way I kind of, but just be very selective, of course, like everybody knows this, but like really, really hone it down. Think to yourself, like, how many people do I really need in order to function? Yeah. I know you're a pretty selective person too.
I was dude. You and I are very similar with the very extroverted, loved attention. And just had lots of friends, and like we were in the same circle as well. And we just loved hanging out. We're people persons. I guess. Yeah. People. But that's very similar story
for sure.
And I realized it's hurting me more than it was giving into my life. I'm a big guy on energy and vibrations and stuff. I could pick up on them. When I'm sitting with someone that's high energy, I could feel it. When I'm sitting with someone that is low energy, I can fucking feel it. I can smell it on them. And the group of friends that, we were around and that I was around, they were awesome guys. Nothing negative to say about them.
For sure.
It was just that it wasn't benefiting me because it was more of like it was sucking energy from me rather than giving energy from me. From at the start, it was giving me energy and it was fun.
Yeah.
But after a while, I just realized a few things. I just became more aware, and I realized what it had done to my personality, what it had done to me. And I realized I was just becoming the people I was around, and I did not like the actions that I was, that I had in my life. So I realized I needed a major change. And I kind of went to working out. And I really had I was always looking for people to work out with, but I realized not a lot of people are consistent with it. Like there'd be a guy that would come with me, one day out of the week, but then he wouldn't come the rest because I guess not consistent. So then it kind of went into that lone wolf era. I was hustling by myself. I would see friends here and there because it is good to see people. It is good to see people. But then I just started realizing more and more and more that it's like, okay, I can only have people that are fucking killers around me that want to actually achieve major things. And I really slimmed it down, man. Like my circle's very, very tight. Very, very tight. Like I see my business partner and I see our clients, and that is like, and I build good relationships with their clients. So I could say that, for sure, some of my clients are my very good friends, and like a lot of my clients are very successful individuals. Like, that guy that owns a McDonald's in Guelph, you built a relationship with him. You could call him a friend of yours.
Funny enough, I have a client that actually was the reason why I quit the business. He lives here in Waterloo. Shout out Tony. He basically sells sculptures, makes a huge killing.
That's fucking sick.
And I've gone over to his place for dinners all the time. He has a cottage on a cliff. I think you might have seen it on my story. Like I recorded like a cliffside cottage in Lion's Head. I have a personal connection with that guy. You know what I mean? And I still have his contact list. So your clients will actually become some of your greatest friends. Right?
And big thing here. You cannot make friends with your clients unless you actually are not there just for like a quick payday. You're there to actually connect with the people. Like when you're doing door to door, like you have videos. Like I'll link his Instagram, and your TikTok and all your other socials in the description. But go check his shit out. It's fucking cool.
Thank you.
We'll have to do like a door to door collab.
Oh, we will 100%.
It'll be sick.
You bring me on for this, I'll bring you on for doors.
Yeah, dude, it'll be sick. But like when you're going to do the doors, you are building a connection. You're not just there for a quick payday. No. Obviously, you're trying to make money because it puts food on the table. Yes. But you're there to build a connection. And a lot of people, they're there to just get a quick payday, deliver the results, and dip. No. That's not the right way to do business. Like you got to be ethical. I'm not saying it's unethical to get paid and do the service, but I believe, being ethical is actually building a connection with that person. If the client doesn't want to build a connection, they just want a service, makes sense.
It happens all the time.
Just wanted to quickly touch on that because you will not be able to build a connection with a client if you're not focused on actually, building some sort of relationship there.
100%.
But on to the next one, because I want to make sure we get all these in.
Yes.
Maintaining high energy.
Oh, yeah.
This is fucking massive. So I want to hear your take on the strategies you have for staying energetic and vibrant and the role of consistency in sustaining high energy levels and enthusiasm. Because you and I, when it comes to like our energy, like we're very similar. Like when you came in, you're fucking blaring on the horn. I was laughing my ass off, dude. And we're able to just constantly keep our energy high. So I want to hear your take on it because probably fairly similar to mine.
So I know for 100% certain, like you and I do not struggle with high energy, but I want to be able to build a connection with a lot of the introverted people, maybe some of the antisocial, because there's nothing that helped me because I've just always been this way. Like first thing in the morning, like my girlfriend can even vouch for this. As soon as I wake up, I'm jumping out of bed and I'm already dancing and stuff. And I've been asked by my dad, even like, man, how do you have so much energy first thing in the morning? And I'm like, you just got to be happy we're alive. God gave us one more day to be alive.
That's it. That's it right there.
But to kind of relate and connect to a lot of, because I'm a very social person, so hopefully I might be able to make a small impact to a lot of the introverted people. Be more social, like 100%. Like put yourself outside that comfort zone. So a lot of people like to stay in their little bubble, like to be comfortable and everything, but it's always best to live uncomfortably. Like put yourself in situations, force yourself into situations in order to become a better person. Like I've had a couple of very introverted people hop on door-to-door sales with me, at my company, and they weren't able to do it, right? But they had very low energy, everything. But then as soon as you keep forcing them into it and keep telling them like keep working on it, stay consistent with it, keep practicing, eventually now that they're a lot more social, their energy also increases. But and then also too, like keep pushing them to work towards something, you know, have certain goals in mind as well. So then that way, in order, whenever they do achieve their goals, you know, they're also spiked up in energy as well. Yeah. So I guess for a lot of the introverted people, you know, just be a lot more social and put more tasks on your plate, right? Because then the more things you complete, the more positive, the more energetic you're going to be. Yeah. Right. So that's kind of my take. Just being a lot more social. I love that. Guess a lot of these people should be doing.
Like, go fucking talk to that girl. Don't be scared. Do it, man. Do it. The worst answer you can get is no, right? Yeah. And we learned that from sales. The worst answer we can get is no. You probably remember your first ever door sale, or you probably remember your first ever call, or whatever you were doing for sales. I remember mine, and I was shaking on the phone. I was fucking nervous, terrified. But now it's like all I can get is no. Yeah. I was so focused on just like getting that sale, but now it's just like I put it out there. Worst answer I can get is no. Yeah. Same thing with everything, man. So, you know, for like how you're trying to talk to and connect with the introverts, like just go and fucking talk to that girl. Go and talk to that guy. Yeah. Go and hop on that call. Yeah. Go out there and hit the gym. You know, like these are things that people are scared to do. You have to remove this fear, because everything you desire is on the opposite side of fear. You know, fears like exactly. Fears like this wall in Maze Runner. You know Maze Runner?
Oh yeah, I've seen.
You know how when they escape, it's like the real world. Yeah. Imagine that's fear. And once you get over that wall, everything you desire is on the other side of it. Yeah. So that's kind of my like your take on the high energy. I fucking loved it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I believe that removing that fear unlocks like an energy in people. And like how you said, like, dude, it's another day to be alive. Let's fucking get after it. Yeah. That is how every single person should view life, because you could die tomorrow. Yeah. Like you actually could. Your parents could die. Your brother could die. Your sister could die. Your fucking leg could get chopped off. Yes. You know, like this is the type of stuff that is very capable of happening. Yeah. A lot of people this happens to. Yes. You know, like Andrew Tate said it very well in this one podcast where he's like, you know, like your life is so lucky. You know, bacteria could have taken your eyes at the age of 4. Yes. You know, you have both of your legs. You've got healthy lungs. One isn't fucking on a disorder. Yeah. You have both your arms. Yes. You can hit the gym. You can run without, you know, having issues because you have a fucked up spine, right? Yeah. Like we are all so lucky. I like that. And I hate to see people taking advantage of that luckiness and just sitting around being fearful. Like we are God's highest creation. We can fucking get out there, do anything we put our minds to, man. And like, we live in our own head, and I believe that we are the creators of our own reality. And like what we see up here happens out here. So
that was very heart touching, man. That was like really good. Holy, that deserves a nice round of applause. That was like a whole speech. Are we sure we're on a podcast or a TED Talk?
TED Talk, baby.
Nice. I like.
We'll be on the stage. Yeah, guys. So
that was good, man. That was really good. I like that.
Thank you. And it's as above, so below, right? Yeah. Like, are you into the Bible at all?
I am. So I'm not gonna sit here and like claim I'm very religious. Like, of course, like I've distanced myself, but I'm pretty knowledgeable about the Bible. You know, try my best to connect with God here and there. You know, because He's gonna be my passenger driver in the Bugatti.
Fuck it, right?
God, right there.
The Bug. Yes. I can't wait to have one of them. So clean, dude. Yeah. But for anyone that has any question about the high energy, I know that's kind of a topic that like we kind of just said like, oh, like wake up and fucking be excited to be alive. Mm-hmm. A lot of people that's hard, but ask Edward or I any questions. Yeah. We can help you guys out with that because maintaining high energy is like a very, very key thing. Energy is a lot. Energy is everything around us. Yes. Okay. Number 8, balanced enjoyment. We were going to get into this when we were talking about the circle, I believe.
Yeah, there was the inner circle.
So finding joy and fun in life while practicing moderation and challenging the modern misconceptions about balance. Yeah. I wanted to quickly go over just like the balance thing, like, okay, going out 4 nights a week and then like you work 8 hours a day and then you go out 4 nights a week. That's not fucking balance, guys.
No. To me, people need to know the clear distinction, the clear difference.
And,
right?
And I want you to just hammer that home. You can rip on people, you know, like just get this one down because this is something that people need to fucking understand. Yeah. I wish I understood it earlier. Yeah. You know, like when we were in high school, I started figuring things out and like grade 10-ish. Yeah. But like it was, I wish I figured it out earlier. But balanced enjoyment, what is your take on that? I know you kind of briefly touched it about, you know, the Sunday.
The fuck off friends.
Yeah, but dive deep into how balanced enjoyment actually benefits you. Yeah. And how it's not, you know, common misconception.
Yeah, so balanced enjoyment is not working a 9 to 5, 40-hour-a-week job and then fucking off on the weekends. That's not balanced enjoyment. That's just living like an average rat. That's basically living like an average person. That's not balanced enjoyment. Balanced enjoyment means you set up goals, you hit all your targets, and then it's well-deserved, and then you go out and do it. You go out and have fun. So that's what I mean. So especially in sales, so a lot of the salespeople out there, we all know that the reward system is super crucial. If you don't have a reward system in place, you're going to get very bored of the entire process. And then who knows, you might wind up quitting or switching occupations, completely switching your craft.
Yep.
So for example, like on doors, like we'll be like, hey guys, if we crush $20,000 this week, we'll go out and we'll go karting, next Saturday. Our team crushes it, we go have fun, we go karting and stuff, because you need to do that. You need to have that nice, healthy balance. Yeah. But of course, that's when it's deserved and you guys work your asses off for it. Or, like you have a little bit of lenience time, because I'm very big on being a very social person. So there will be times where, I'll work from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night. I'll work like a full 15-hour day. I'm exhausted, whatever. But then by the end of the night, some friend of mine will call me and be like, hey, do you want to hang out for a little bit? Man, just force yourself into it. Just go have fun, be social. And I'll go out there and, grab a couple of drinks with the guys. Sure, if I lose a couple hours on sleep, it's like the one quote that I live by. Party with the boys, work with the men. So if you decide to give yourself that pleasure, that leisure time, make sure you're still showing up and you're still working with, the men. Make sure you're be there, be present. It's like the video that I just released recently, party with the boys, work with the men. If you're going to choose to sacrifice, your sleep or one of your tasks, make sure you at least get it done tomorrow and make sure you're still on top of stuff after it's all finished. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's a huge quote by me. My mentor actually taught me that when I used to work at the old company. Party with the boys, work with the men. You can't work with the men all the time. You're going to quit and you will get bored. You need to have some fun friends, some party time, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I for the longest time, I didn't go out at all. Like I was so dialed and it actually started to fuck with me a little bit. And I started to I actually started to go, I wasn't even spending time with family, dude. Yeah. Like it was fucked. Like I was like, nothing else but work.
Yeah, nothing else matters, right?
And you need to go through those stages, but you can't let it destroy you. And my business partner, he's very wise. Yeah. And he told me, he's like, Cameron, you need to spend time with your family. I know that, this business is very important to you and you're obsessed with it. Yeah. But do that before it's too late. And he said that to me, like, I think it was like at least like 4 or 5 times before I was like, okay. Yeah. I'll actually start spending time with my family. Yeah. Once I did that, I actually felt more fulfilled and, life felt better. And I believe that like there's a healthy balance, spending time with your family, taking the time to actually, like if you're going to talk to someone, look them in the eyes, be present, like that type of balance as well. And, I love your take on it. And like, I like my business partner taught me, and I actually will go out and actually do something other than business now. I will enjoy myself. And I'm glad I did, because it would have been a very unfulfilling, boring life. Yeah. And we need to be social. We need to be, like you and I were very social people. Yeah, exactly. So not being social kind of fucked with my head. Yes. But thank God my partner told me that. Pat, if you're listening, thank you. I appreciate that. But thank you for that take on it. Yeah, that was very, very insightful. Second last one. Yeah. Ideals of living. Okay. Discussing the envisioned ideal lifestyle for men and women. Normally I talk about just young men and stuff, but I had a few women be like, okay, you need to talk about both. Yeah. So discussing the envisioned ideal lifestyle for men and women based on personal growth and societal contribution. So
this topic is for you, man. 100%. This is for you. But you document this shit all the time. I want to hear your take on it.
Okay. So I believe that there is no right or wrong way to live. But for me, there is. Yeah. And for each and every person, there is. But some people have that a little bit mixed up and they're delusional. Yeah. And I believe, we'll start with the men. I believe the ideal lifestyle for a man is to, number one, become the best version of himself. Yeah. And that means cutting out anything that is not benefiting your future. So every decision that I make, it's like I have these 2 jars in my mind. Yeah. And I read it in a book. It had some paperclip analogy or whatever. But pretend it's 2 jars and you got paper clips. Each decision I make, I ask myself, is this going to benefit my future self? Or like take away from it. And then I toss it in, you know, benefit for future self. And I want only the paper clips to toss into that one.
Okay.
Is how I vision that. Yeah. And it's a very good way to think for me.
Yes.
And I believe if everyone applied that, it would really help, because every little decision matters, and small wins compound, small decisions compound. You know, the compound effect is real. Exponential compounding is real. That's why when like your mentor said, out of nowhere your business will skyrocket. Yeah. That's because you're exponentially compounding small wins. Yes. Then out of nowhere that curve goes like this, because math fucking happens. Yes. and it skyrockets up. So that happens with every decision as well. So for the young men and women listening, like every decision, ask yourself, is this a decision my future self would make? Or is it benefiting my future self or my future life? Throw that paper clip in that you know, correct bin. It's okay to have some decisions that you throw in the other one, but the difference should be like a 99-to-1 ratio. Like, and it's gonna take some time to get there. But that is like a good thinking pattern that I think everyone can have. And to get on to more of like the lifestyle, I'll try and touch men and women at once. But I believe everyone should eat healthy. I believe that everyone should be able to stay away from their phone, and like we spoke about, think critically. Put your phone away and self-reflect. That's a very healthy habit to get into. Very, very healthy. And I also believe everyone should be active. You know, I believe that cardio is huge. You know, my mom goes on runs every day, so that's kind of where I learned that. Not everyone has an idol to look up to like that, but work on your cardio, work on your body. You know, a strong body is a strong mind. So I believe that, you know, people need to just focus on your health, and things will kind of reflect out of your health, because, you know, as above, so below. And if your mind is healthy and your body's healthy, it's going to reflect in your reality. So just the ideal lifestyle would just be like we were talking about, be excited to get up. Have a very healthy diet. Like, make sure it's strict. Don't be eating at fucking McDonald's every day. Like, that shit is poison. That shit is poison. Fast food is poison. I would highly suggest a very red meat, you know, animal diet. And it's like that's what humans are meant to eat. That's what we've been eating forever. Now we got the fucking, what is it, the vegan, the Whoa burger or the Wow burger, like all these fucking vegan burgers. Guys, ridiculous. I'm sorry, I don't believe that stuff is good for us whatsoever. Whatsoever. And back to it. I just believe an ideal lifestyle is live healthy, be happy, and be grateful for what you have, rather than, you know, comparing and looking at others. Have a strong body, have a strong mind, and get shit done every day that is going to benefit your future self. I believe if you apply those things, you'll have an ideal lifestyle. And that's what I think the ideal lifestyle is. Not everyone's going to think the same, but I think if everyone listened to that, they would agree.
To sum it all down, a quote from my business partner, just to sum the entire discussion down: your future needs you, your past doesn't.
Exactly.
So the way you set yourself up right now is exactly how the outcome, the result is going to be in your future. You know, so even like, for example, we were talking about the diet thing. Everybody thinks, like, some people were thinking I'm like stupid for hopping on this animal-based diet or whatever, you know, like it's too boring, like just eat normally. Yeah, but I'm trying to set myself up. Like, I don't want to be 6 years old looking like I'm 30.
Exactly.
Okay? So like, just do things traditionally, do things that, you know, work and have been proven to work for many, many people. And just kind of hop on like some of the same. Of course, don't follow exactly what a lot of people are saying online, because people have opinions. A lot of them are stupid, but yeah, that's exactly the way I kind of look at things. Look at everything traditionally. How were our ancestors living? How were our ancestors able to live 120 plus years? The Bible says people back then were living up to 500 years. And we're barely even making it past 60 because of cancers, diseases,
poison, etc. Food, man.
Yeah, you know, live a certain way that works specifically for you. The one thing a lot of people do is they let influences online that they buy a course from influence how they're going to live. Guys, listen, when you do business, do this, do this, do this. Yeah, shit, this guy's right. Yeah, but that's not going to work for everyone. You're just forcing yourself into a certain craft occupation that's going to just kill you. It's going to burn you out. Your flame is going to burn out very, very quickly. Do what works specifically for you. You know, your future needs you. Your past doesn't. Nobody else does.
Yes. And I want to touch on that point you made. The future needs you. Your past doesn't. The future needs you, and the only way to create that future self is to control what you're doing right fucking now. So focus on having a good vision of where you want to be in the future, and then do the actions that will create that future in the now, because the only moment you can actually control as a human is now. Can you go 10 minutes into the future and move your hand like this. No, you can only do it right now. So that should pretty much sum that up. But I really like that. I really like that, dude. Your future needs you.
Yeah.
Your past doesn't, you know, like, and that should hit home for a lot of people.
Yeah, and people are too caught up on the past, which is very sad.
It blows my mind.
I know, they're way too.
It blows my mind. I can understand to an extent why you could be, but the past doesn't. What is it doing for you? Nothing. What is it like? So
you've already lived there, right?
It's fucking silly.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, man. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, and well then, fucking shoulda, woulda, coulda. Do it now. Yeah, exactly. You know, like do that shit now, man. Yes, and that's what you can't control. So the last one, actionable steps for listeners. So pretty much everything we went over. Okay. What is just a general, let's say, like 2-point list that they could take from this and go apply right after they finish listening to this?
Man, literally, like, there's nothing else that needs to be said. I don't need to pull some cliche quote from a book. I don't need to pull some cliche quote from an influencer from the past, man. It's just a matter of, man, just get it done. I'm serious. Like, I'm so sick and tired of seeing all these influencers online being like, listen, I have the key to success in order, but if you want the key to success, you have to buy my course, you have to follow my page, you have to do this, this, and this. Man, just put that shit aside. Just stop worrying about the social media stuff. Stop worrying about looking up to certain people. Like I said, your future needs your past doesn't. Look up to your future self and try to always impress your past self. When I first started the business, I was literally doing door to door for the company that I was working for. And while I was closing deals for them, I was closing deals for myself. I know I'm not recommending everybody to do that. You can get some serious shit depending on some contracts you sign. But man, it's just a matter of doing it. I remember what really kicked off the service industry for me. I was working at this company. I was holding $2,000 in cash. What did I do? I didn't plan stuff out. Okay, how can I plan in, you know, maybe in 3 months from now, I'll start making $2,000 a day like this company was doing. Man, it's just a matter of, just quit your job, quit whatever you're doing. Drop everything you have. Better take that risk and get the answer after. Like, don't plan, reflect. Like how we were talking about earlier, the reflection aspect of it. Better just do it. If it doesn't work out, at least you know. You have an answer now. Learn from your mistake. I'm sick and tired of all this. Like, it's a very hot topic for me, man.
So let's say a 3-point action list. Do it. Yeah. Reflect. Yeah. Repeat. Yes. We'll call it the DRR. I think we just made something fucking up there. The DRR, right?
The DRR.
Do it, reflect, repeat.
Yes.
That would be the action steps, and Edward laid it out very fucking beautifully there. Thank you for that. And
I appreciate for sure.
Everyone is gonna really appreciate that. And I want this podcast to be different from everything else out there because I want to just sit people like you down. And I want to hear your thoughts, and then I want to have action steps. Because a lot of podcasts these guys talk, but there's no action steps.
They don't help others.
At the end of every podcast, I want, our listeners to have some action steps. And that's my goal is I want people to change their life. And DRR, guys.
Yeah, because the one thing for me, like, I'm a very, very, very realistic person.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, like, I'm a very balanced person. Like, the thing is that, like, my business is generating a lot in revenue. Like, for example, in the last year, people see it on my Instagram bio. It is true. Like, we've done $300,000 in revenue. Expected to make over $500,000 this year. I'm a 21-year-old kid. There's nothing special about me. I was just the average social guy. But the one thing that's different about me, that's not different with you, is you're wasting your time planning shit out while I got shit done. You are wasting your time watching this goddamn, social media influencers or whatever the hell you're watching online, and you're planning stuff out one day. Man, it's just day one, get it done. I had no money to my name. I literally remember driving to Toronto. I bought my power washer. It ended up breaking down, so I had to go back to Toronto. I found a way to return it. I didn't have any money when I returned it because it would take 7 days. I remember being dead broke, and I started calling a lot of my friends. Yo, listen, I need money. Like, I wanted to get shit done. I needed this power washer. Nathan, my business partner, now, I was very fortunate that he gave me the money. He sent me the money, and then I got back out there and I just did it, man. There's no planning. It's just like, there's nothing else to be said. Just do it. Nike, one of the biggest companies in the world. That's literally their quote. It
makes fucking sense.
Just do it. There's no planning. You don't need to follow anybody. You can literally delete all social media platforms. Okay, what am I interested in? I'm really good at sports and hobbies. Okay, maybe go sell something that is in the sports industry. Or what are you good at? Oh, I'm really good at the gym. But you're a pretty jacked dude. Okay, go sell coaching online, whatever.
Just learn in the fucking field.
Yes, you learn in the field. You don't learn prior. You don't watch YouTube videos. Oh yeah, I'm researching.
I don't believe in school, man.
No, not at all. School, you see, that's the thing with school. they teach you prior to actually doing it, which I very disagree on.
They should just throw you in the field.
They just throw you in the field. Oh, so where'd you go wrong today? I didn't put this part together. I didn't really do this. Okay, reflect on it. How could you do it better tomorrow?
Right? And that's very, very well said, dude. Yeah. And appreciate that. Everyone listening, DRR.
Yeah, DRR. I'm gonna live by that DRR, man. Like I said, are you any different than anybody else watching this?
No, I'm a human. We're all fucking human.
We're all humans. But what did we do that these people are watching right now aren't doing? We just did it, man. Did you think about doing videography? No, you probably just picked up a fucking $5,000 camera and you just said, fuck it. If it doesn't work, I lost money.
I remember. I'll give a little story on it.
Okay, let's hear
I had my brother's old camera.
Okay.
And I just picked it up and I was like, yo, let's just film some shit.
Yeah.
Film for them, film for a buddy.
Yeah.
And then I had the money in my account, like from working at Marshall's, I think.
Previous jobs and whatnot.
And I just went online. I looked up like best cameras at the time. It was the Sony A7 III.
Yeah.
I fucking ordered it.
Yeah.
Came in and just started reaching out. Just started doing it, man. Yeah. And there was a fear of me, like, oh, like, what if you fuck up on this shoot? Like, I already had prior experience, but I just did that from doing it and just getting in there and fucking getting in the nitty gritty and just fucking putting the work in.
Yeah.
And my last thing, it was a closing thought, but I guess I assume that's what it would be. But
yeah, it kind of works together. The actual steps for listeners is just to do it, man.
Yeah.
So the DRR, do it,
reflect, repeat.
Do
it, reflect, repeat, guys. And I'm probably gonna wrap the podcast up there because that was fucking solid.
It was
really solid. Thank you so much for your time, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Sure. And we'll definitely do another one in the near future.
Ideals of living. Men never shake hands sitting down. I'm a very traditional old school person.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you
so much. It was a pleasure.
I do that all the time. I make sure to stand up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hands, but our apologies. We apologize.
Just for the podcast's sake. Just so we can fit in the frame. Because when we stood up,
we're probably out of frame. So it's just for the frame.
Always shake hands when you're standing up.
Yes.
But thank you, everyone, for your time. Thank you for listening. And DRR, get it done. Keep your lens positive and just make sure to smile and be excited to fucking live. And
for sure, man. But
thank
you for the people watching, but the real thanks goes to you. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you all.
Of course,
huge thank you to you. You're the one who's producing this podcast for everybody to watch. You know, if a lot of people out there can't really relate to, especially big time social media influencers, at least you could relate to us. You know, we're just starting out and everything. We're no different than you guys. You know, a lot of these people online that are doing these certain podcasts and stuff already got it all figured out.
Yeah.
But you're learning. I'm still learning. We're learning on exactly like you guys. We're no different. We're not on some pedestal. Like, we're still on the same level as you guys. So huge thanks to A Positive Lens, because this podcast will make a huge impact. So better stay tuned and subscribe and listen.
You'll see him out here soon. Peace and love, guys.